Hey, Shalom, Israel, we live. Back at it, clap it up. Oh, you got the Strongs. Yeah, you gonna need this a little bit later on. And you might need the Apocrypha too. Oh, you got it. I might need it up here. Hey, can you hand me that the KJV right there? The Bible right there. This one kind of beat up. Not too wild. All right, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, son. Hold this over a little bit. Yeah, of course, we're back at it again. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under commanding General Yohana. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews, so-called Chileans, Panamanians, Guatemalans, Chileans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Seminole Indians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitians, North American Indians, the list goes on. These are the true biblical Jews of that book, you understand. Tonight, we're going to go into, it's controversial in the so-called world of Israelites or what have you. They trying to, the Christians are trying to create a Israelite community. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like the LGBT has created a community. They trying to make this a community. Here in the EPK, we're not going to be a part of your so-called unity camp. That so-called unity camp is garbage. I'm going to tell you straight up. Why? Because you're going to find yourself, following improper and incorrect doctrine. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to find. What Israel needs is order. You know what I mean? You need order. You need structure. The scripture calls it one body. Not many bodies. One body, one faith. One baptism.
Right.
You out there with a thousand baptisms, 1,000, ideas. And what does that lead to? That leads to confusion. That leads to you not having the answers. I get 1,000 phone calls.
Hey, been scrolling for a while now. Join me.
I get 1,000.
Deep breaths together. On the inhale, breathe in for 4, and on the exhale.
Charleston White supports Donald.
Hey, Salaki for the interruption. But we get 1,000 phone calls. I gotta correct something that's elementary.
Right.
I gotta correct something that's so simple. So simple. Why? Because of Christianity. I'm gonna go live on this tablet here. On this TikTok. Man, what do you want to say? Set the prop this up. Okay. You good? Somebody at the door? Okay. No worries. You good? What was I saying? Christianity. You get 1,000 calls because of brothers and sisters confused. I gotta, answer elementary questions, man. Why? Because the pastors self-proclaimed leaders, self-proclaimed, priests, that confused the earth. You understand? Tonight's topic, we're going to be going into dreadlocks. What are dreadlocks? Where they come from? The origins of it. When it was popular. I can't even say. Listen, I got a problem with English. Popularized. And it really got popular in the 70s because of the reggae. Right. And Bob Marley being popular. He made that popular. You understand? Before that, we was wearing afros and braids.
Right.
And finger waves. Show me some goddamn dreadlocks in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find no evidence. Black folk, the so-called Negro, following that custom in them towns. Now maybe in the West Indies, but it wasn't popularized in this part of the Americas up until the 70s. All right, when reggae started getting big up here. So where we at? I didn't get no verse. My bad. I'm thinking. My bad. I said where we at? Let me give you something. Yo. Let's start off with a scripture. All right. Let's start off with a bedrock. Give me a Hosea 4:6. Let's start off with a bedrock. KJB. Let's start off there. We're gonna go in depth about this. We're gonna get the history. We're gonna get the backdrop. I'll show you a couple of things about dreadlocks, right? Because this has been, especially up until today, it's been embedded in the so-called Negro's culture to have dreads.
Right.
More than I have ever seen before. It's a trend. It's a trend, and that's what we did. We just follow a trend. We don't look into it. We don't even. You see one person doing it, you just start doing it yourself. You don't even know why. So-called monkey see, monkey do, right? Whatever's popular. That's what we do. No, I'm gonna just drink from honest. A little crazy drinking that. Yeah, give me a cup. My bad. But we're gonna go into it in depth. So make sure we're going to share a couple of articles here that support what we're bringing out, the origins and everything. So stay tuned. I'm gonna give me brother, grab me a cup, and we're going to get some scriptures, some early scriptures. We're going to get a bunch of definitions of locks, and we're going to prove that this hairstyle is not a Hebrew Israelite custom. And not only is it not a Hebrew Israelite custom, because it's not a Hebrew Israelite custom, it's something that you should not do. Don't we love the Bible? Don't we love God? But as soon as it's something that you cling on to, that the world, that this age of society has conditioned you to believe in, then conditioned you. You hear that? What was that? Okay. They conditioned us to favor. Now it's questionable. Now I don't know what y'all talking about now. See as you say Jesus Christ, preferred particular people. Now, brother, I don't know what you're talking about now, brother. You get a little bit out of hand. Right. We're gonna read this book, man. We're gonna let the book. We're gonna bring the history. We're gonna get the articles. Let's go. We're gonna start with this one. This is a broad scripture, but we'll start here, right?
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people,
My what?
my people.
It says my people. It is good. Now, that is a possessive pronoun. My. He didn't say all people. He didn't say all people right here. He said my people. Now, when you go in the book, when you go in this Bible, all throughout this book, he's referencing who? The Israelites. Now, he's talking about the Israelites. Go ahead. He said, my people, not all people. Go ahead.
Are destroyed.
Why are we destroyed? Now, the Bible is going to explain to us why we are in the conditions that we are in. Why are we in the conditions that we're in? Why are we in the hell that we're living in today? That's what the Bible does for us, man. Go ahead.
For lack of knowledge.
For the what?
For lack of knowledge.
That's what we are missing. That's what we miss now. Is this knowledge, you're gonna find this knowledge at Morgan State? You understand? We've been going to these universities for years. When did they start they built what the first HBCUs were like 20 years removed from slavery? Was it like 10 or 20 years?
I think it was a little earlier than that. I think the first HBCUs was like 1870.
18, damn, it was like 5 years, something like 1870. We started building our own university. So it can't be that. We didn't have churches forever, so they ain't got the knowledge. It's the knowledge that we're missing. It's morning, right?
Come on, sir.
Go take your time. I'm gonna go ahead, drink your water. But listen, it's a knowledge that we're missing. It's a key component that blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, the true biblical Jews, it's something that we're missing. Man. Chat, if y'all got a question, chat, y'all go ahead and time in. We talking about, the topic tonight is we talking about dreadlocks. You understand? All right, TikTok, Facebook, whatever you want. You got a question on these dreadlocks? Let's get it in. All right. And where we at?
My people, Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
It reads, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because we have what?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
We rejected these laws. The scriptures say this, and I'm a sidebar. Matter of fact, can you pause that? Can you give me 8 and 11? It might be 11 and 8. Give me when it says I can't. Hold on. Hold where you at. Give me Hosea. I think it's 8 and 11. It might be 11 and 8. It's 11 and 8. Hold up. Sidebar real quick while we already in Hosea. Eight and 12. Go ahead.
Hosea chapter 8, verse 12.
Go ahead.
I have written to him the great things of my law.
That's the knowledge right there. The Lord called it a great thing. I have written to thee the great things of my law. Bear with me 1 second. I've written to thee the great things of my law. These laws are great, yo. These laws are absolutely great. Why would you have a problem with thou shalt not unallow? Why would you have a problem with that? Why would you have a problem with give me any law? I mean, forget about it. Why would you have a problem with that? The dietary law, the law against selling, lying about the merchandise that you sell, being a lie. Why would you be against that? These laws are great. These laws institutionalize brotherhood. You understand? It gives us a way to actually be brothers toward each other. That's what our society is missing. It gives us a moral compass. It gives us morals. You understand? It gives us a code of conduct. That's what we missing. We destroy for a lack of knowledge. The Lord called this law a great thing. Go ahead.
But they were counted as a strange thing.
Now we look at it, man. We look at them. You look at them Israelites, man. What they got on? Why they talking? Why they dressed like that? Oh, they against smoking. Oh, y'all lame. That's what they say. So what y'all do? Like literally asking you what drug can you do? That's how comfortable we become in this place.
Right.
So what can we do? Oh, you can drink. Oh, then they think you can't be an alcoholic. Can't be that. But this age of society. I'm trying to prop this up. This age of society is so fixed on being having a goddamn party all the time. That's the custom of the goddamn the oppressor. Look at them college campuses, yo. Like we think they just young and having a good time. That's a bunch of goddamn alcoholics, yo.
Right.
They fixed on over drinking. That's why they be in the movies, in the parties, chug, chug, chug. That's not having a good time. That's being an alcoholic. We can't behave like that. We can't behave like the heathen. We can't behave like these other nations, man.
Right.
The Lord called the law, our morals, our guidelines, our constitution a great thing. You understand? Hold that with 1 second. They call it a great thing. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Hold on. Start from 12. Okay.
Hosea chapter 8, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
I have written to him the great things of my law,
Mm-hmm.
but they were counted as a strange
They
thing.
counted it as a strange thing. Oh, y'all against dreads. Yeah. Listen, man. We won't bring it out. It's okay. I know we be confused. Oh, y'all get Christ had a father. What?
Right.
Yo, they be so shocked. They be so shocked that Mary had relations with Joseph. What, are you out of your mind? Why would you say? Listen, yo, that's what makes babies, yo. Relax. It's okay. I know that's a strange thing to you because we've been indoctrinated with garbage. But you'll come to realize that
Right.
when you have relations with a woman, babies happen. I'm sorry, I know it sounds strange. I know Christianity did a number, but we'll get to it. No, we'll get to it. We'll see. Yeah, we can go back to 4:6, then we'll get the other stuff.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people,
My what?
my people
My people. Go ahead.
are destroyed for lack of knowledge,
Are destroyed for lack of knowledge, brother. Go ahead.
because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Well, we so against it, and really it's not a whole. Really we against it is because we're for something else. It don't even be like it's the horrible thing, because taking narcotics is a horrible life. Being addicted to drugs is a horrible life. We against that, but they like, hey yo, what you got against a little appeal? Yo, you going down a horrible road. What y'all against having a good time? You don't recognize and understand you are a part of a horrible life. Right? We can't see that. We can't recognize that. We destroy for lack of knowledge. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
We reject it. We so against it. We push it. Why do we have so much pushback to something that's so righteous, to the actual blueprint that's what it fix us? Like I would say if this knowledge was harmful, but it's good for us. It's an actual good thing. It's an actual blueprint that's going to fix it. Now I can say if it was harmful, like the LGBT, that's a violent life. You understand? I can say if it was horrible, like the things that are happening in the Roman Catholic Church. Matter of fact, the Baltimore Archdiocese, what's going over there, 600 plus cases of SA in children. That's a horrible life.
Right.
But what we teaching is correction. This blueprint is a wonderful one. Go ahead.
I will also reject thee.
Now, because we want to be a part of this world, this age in society, the Lord didn't turn his back on us, That's all over the scriptures, You understand? When we going to wake up and recognize that, though, huh? You got anything, Thumb? Give me Exodus 20 and 3. And I'm gonna start pulling these articles. I'm gonna share with the class my screen here. And I'm gonna show you a couple of things that our religious institutions have failed in showing us. Just bear with me, all right? And the brother gonna get the scripture while I get these articles pulled up, all right? But what did I ask for?
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3.
Give me that.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Now, why is this relevant to dreadlocks? You might ask yourself, why is this relevant to a hairstyle? I know it may seem confusing, but dreadlocks have a religious origin. And that religious origin is following after another god. It's the East Indian god by the name of Shiva or Shiva. However you might, however you want to pronounce that, all right? But I'm gonna pull this first article. Let me share my screen here. Let me share my screen. You should be able to see it. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. All right, there we go. So what you're looking at here, I'm gonna show you a little bit of history on dreadlocks here. Pull this article up. I'm gonna have a brother read. All right, you can see it better now. Let me scroll down. So you can read it from there.
Many historians believe that India can be credited for the religious origins of dreadlocks.
Of what?
Of dreadlocks.
Of dreadlocks. Go ahead.
In fact, the Hindu holy scriptures, the Veda, which was written in India before 1500 and 1000 BCE, provides the first written historical evidence of dreadlocks.
Now, the Veda, that book is like an East Indian Bible for their religion, Hinduism, and all, whatever they follow, their customs. You understand? Just a little backdrop on what that is, all right? Go ahead.
Historically, in Indian culture, locks were widely regarded as sacred by Hindu holy men.
Now, read that one more time.
Historically, in Indian culture, locks were widely regarded as sacred by Hindu holy men.
Like Hindu holy men. This is a religious thing. This is not like just a style. This is the real origin of dreads. You understand? Now you might ask yourself, how did this become part of our culture? How did this become part of our tradition? Why is this so widely accepted amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Just like any other heathen custom is. And we'll explain it. We'll get more articles. We'll do more diving, and we'll go into the Bible some more about it also too. Go ahead, read on.
And signify their willingness to disregard vanity for their God.
Damn. Go ahead.
So basically, sir, what they're saying is I'm gonna disregard how I look for an unreal God.
You know why? You know why? You know why? Because it's an unnatural thing to have your hair dirty. This is like an East Indian zeal to be, it's the East End. This is their how they show their zeal. You got Islam, they smack their head on the ground. They want to get that mark. Our brothers and sisters that follow Islam, a lot of them, they got a little mark right there in the front of their head. They want you to see that they smack their head on the ground. You know what the smart thing would to do? Put a little piece of paper right there. Get a little pattern, but get a what they used to wear in the early 2000s, sweat bag. Get you a sweat bag. Why would you damage your forehead like that? You want people to see. You want people to see it. Just the same way you want when you fast, you be acting on, oh brother, oh I'm so tired. I'm so why you want me to ask, why are you so tired? Go ahead, tell me. You was fasting? Okay, yeah, good job. You gonna say, ain't it Ramadan, right? Oh man, I'm so weak. Look at me, how tired I am. They ain't washed their hair, they dirty and filthy. They want to show other people and they want to show to their God how devoted they are to their religion or their custom. So this is what they'll do. Go ahead.
The Hindu deity Shiva.
Go ahead. Oh, my bad. My bad. Go ahead.
The Hindu deity Shiva is also described in many scriptures as wearing dreadlocks.
As wearing what?
As wearing dreadlocks.
Go ahead.
Which is referred to as jada.
Now hold up. It don't say locks like the Bible says. It says dreadlocks. It's a difference.
Right.
It's an absolute difference between actual locks and dreadlocks. It's describing the lock. There's a lock, there's a hairstyle, but this one is dreadful. It's disgusting, it's defiled, it's filthy. It's a difference. The word dread in front of the lock is describing how low it is. Go ahead.
The story of Ganga, the Hindu goddess of purification, and the Ganges River is one of the most notable narratives that have a mention of Shiva wearing dreadlocks.
Now that's where the term ganja comes from. And I know ganja is synonymous in today's culture with what? Cannabis, hemp, whatever you want to call it, weed. That's where that term comes from. Go ahead.
Hindus believe that Shiva released water through his locks of hair to prevent the earth's destruction.
Dang. Go ahead.
Some of Shiva's followers throughout history are also believed to have worn dreadlocks.
They did what?
To have worn dreadlocks.
They wore dreadlocks. They wanted to be just like their God, just like their deity. We don't even know what we following, y'all. We don't even know what we follow. We don't even know where it comes from. It's things that we say and do and perform that we don't know the origins of. We just follow it because it's just a part of society. It's a part of the world. What you don't recognize and understand is this. You are a part of that world. You're a part of it. What you should do is separate yourself from the world.
Right.
Any more?
Which were often kept up and only let down for religious events.
Go ahead.
The Dravidian people have worn dreadlocks, whether they were indigenous to India, as many believe, or settled there from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It is assumed that they emulated the Hindu holy men.
Dang.
Or what's that? Sadhus? Sadhus?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Come.
Sadhus. And wore dreads as Rastafarians do today.
As what?
As Rastafarians do today.
And you might ask, well, how did this East Indian? Let me show you Shiva real quick. Or Shiva. Show you something real quick. Let me show you real quick. Dang, there you go, right there. Hold on. There you go. Shiva. This is your East Indian God that we will come to emulate. You see that?
Right.
Peep the hair. You want to read a little bit on this? Let me see. You need me to blow it up a little bit?
When we started.
This is a Hindu god, as you can see. We'll start right there.
Shiva is known as the destroyer within the Trimurti, the Hindu Trinity, which is also includes Brahma and Vishnu. In the Shivite tradition, Shiva is the supreme lord who creates, protects, and transforms the universe.
All right, hold on, let me go down. All right, ain't too much. I'm gonna drop that, all right? Let's go on these scripts. Now you might ask yourself, I should put that other article over here. There will be 1 second, class. That's the one, right? That's the one we got. Now I'm gonna help you. How do we make this East Indian connection to the West Indies? Because look, the West Indies then made this blow up. It was already over in India. You understand? East India. Now, how did this custom become a part of West Indian culture? I'll show you something real quick. I'll share the screen again. You need to blow it up just a little bit.
I can see that.
We good. I got another article here. Let me make sure it looks good on the joint. Y'all can read along. All right, let's go.
Out of the colonial experience of Jamaica, a new religion emerges.
Now look, we pull in all these articles and we keep mentioning all religion. There's a religious origin to these dreadful locks here. You understand? We don't recognize and understand that it's a religious custom. Not only is it a custom of another nation, but it's a custom of them following their God, right? We unknowingly are a part of another religion following another God unknowingly. Go ahead.
The early Hindus' connection to the Rastafari movement came by way of Indians coming to Jamaica through the British coolie trade to work on the sugar plantation.
Now listen, them East Indians was getting paid. Don't think for 1 second them East Indians was getting oppressed like the so-called Jamaicans, like the other West Indian brothers, because it was a fair trade. They was working for land and money. They was not slaves. And listen, them East Indians is oppressing the West Indians right now. So don't think for a second that they are your brother. You understand? Don't think for 1 second. And in them coming there, right? What do? We do what we always do. We follow. This article will explain it a little bit more in detail. Go ahead.
Bringing with them their Hindu traditions.
Bringing with them their Hindu traditions, their customs, their ways, their religions. And what we do, we always fall for the trap, don't we? Hey, why you think where you think that curry come from?
Right.
Where you think that come from? You think that's a West Indian thing? Go ahead, man.
In this case, the Hindu Sadhu, Indian holy men, came into contact with the Afro-Jamaicans who picked up on the Sadhu's lifestyle of wearing matted hair.
Wearing what? Wearing what?
Matted hair.
Matted hair.
Dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks. Damn. You don't understand. And we write that word Sadhu's earlier, didn't we? We don't understand the customs that we picking up. We don't understand the traditions that we picking up. We think it's just a hairstyle. We think it's our culture. When we following after a culture that is not ours. And you might ask yourself why that is. You might ask yourself why that is. Why do we pick up after a culture of another nation? Because ours has been stolen. You understand? The oppressor then wiped out our culture, our traditions, our heritage that we always reaching and searching for another one.
Right.
And the East Indians just happened to be something that we wanted to cling on to. Just like we wanted to cling on to being the Asian in the 70s. We all wanted to do karate. We all wanted to wear the goddamn, what do they wear in the karate class?
Gis.
The gis. It was another term for it. I don't know. I used to call it the sensei. Because I was in them damn places. I was, but, say again? Karate. We always wanted to wear the karate gi, wear the belt, get it nice and tight. That's what we wanted to do. Because we always clinging on to a culture of another nation.
Right.
Because they stole ours. They stole our traditions. They stole our laws. They stole our nationality. So we always finding and trying to cling on to another nation's traditions. That's why we celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving. That ain't our custom. That ain't our traditions. That's the traditions of another nation, yo. We out here celebrating the 4th of July. Meanwhile, we were slaves. We were cargo.
Right.
We don't even go. We just follow the world and the traditions of other men blindly. You know? We do it so blindly, like it's gross, like a filthy, disgusting whore, yo. Why do we choose to continue to do this, yo? But hey, look, I don't want to ramble on. Go ahead, continue in that.
Vegetarianism, Ital food, and marijuana smoking brought over by Indian coolies.
By who?
By Indian coolies.
Y'all think we think that's just Jamaican. We just think that's a West Indian thing. Really, all that drug taking and weed smoking and being an alcoholic, that's all heathens traditions. You know? They brought getting smoking weed to our West Indian brothers, the tribe of Benjamin. And now they're just known for being weedheads.
Right.
You can thank the East Indians for that lung cancer. Thank the East Indians for all that lung cancer, yo. Because that's what's happening. Thank the so-called Ammonites and Moabites for all that goddamn heroin. You think that's a Negro thing? You think all that? Where you think them poppy seeds coming from? Where you think them poppy seeds was coming from during the Vietnam War?
Right.
You think that was it just showed up out of nowhere in the black community? They make sure your uncles and your fathers and your mothers and your aunts were strung out, bro. These heathens. And at the same time, you want to put the gi on.
Right.
At the same time, they made sure them seeds got over there. They made sure that black tar heroin ripped through your community. They make sure them pills get in your community. They make sure that can't, so much so that they made it legal. You just go to the store now. It's gross. It was gross and filthy. Let me get back. Let's get back to that article.
Ganja is a Sanskrit word for marijuana. These things later found their way into Rastafari movement. Into the Rastafari movement. The use of ganja is often cited by Rastas as a religious sacrament and is mentioned in the following Bible verse. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle
an herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth.
Bring what?
Bring forth food out of the earth.
You ain't out there smoking some goddamn broccoli. You ain't out there smoking some goddamn kale. A bunch of goddamn addicts, you know. But they don't understand the Bible. They don't understand that scripture. Let me get brother had a question. It's a good question. He said, has we ever used weed for medical purposes in our history? The answer is yes. And it's still used for medical, I think, for glaucoma, right? They use it for glaucoma now and other purposes. But that's not why the Benjamites was using it. They were using it to get high.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was in the world, I used to make 1,000 excuses for cannabis. Not because I was using it for those purposes, because I ain't never make no paper out of no goddamn hemp. I ain't never made no hemp paper. I ain't never made no goddamn clothes out of hemp. I ain't never used it for medical purposes. You ain't never used it for glaucoma. You never used it for all of the positive physical properties of it. You only used it to get high.
That's it.
Well, you know they made it illegal because the lumber company was trying to make money off papers. Are you going to make paper? No, you're not making paper.
Right.
You're not making paper. You're not using it for medicine. You're not using it for any of the physical positive properties. You're only using it to get high. That's why you don't take an Advil every day, because it don't get you high. You know what I mean? So you ain't taking an Advil or Tylenol every day, are you? A lot of people want to, well, you know, I'm depressed and, you know, I had a bad day. Listen, you're a goddamn drug addict. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sorry to say, because somebody got to tell you.
Right.
You're a drug addict. You're an alcoholic. Stop being a drug addict and stop being an alcoholic. That's the, hey, listen up. But you already know that's the real reason they hate the EPK.
Right.
Listen, that's the East Indian right there on the left. That's the brother on the right. You want to read a little bit more?
No.
Go ahead.
The wearing of dreadlocks for the rosters did not only come from the Indian influence.
Did not only come from the Indian and I keep dropping. I'm gonna just let you read. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But also from Kenyan revolutionary influence.
Hamites.
The Maui who wore dreadlocks as a sign of resistance against European colonial culture imposed on Africans.
Hamites.
Rosters believe that King Solomon wore dreadlocks as indicated in the Bible verse.
Mm-hmm.
During the entire period of their Nazarite vow, no razor may be used on their head. They must be holy until the period of their dedication to the Lord is over.
We're going to get some more Bible verses on this too.
They must let their hair grow long.
Mm-hmm. They don't even understand that scripture. We'll get all of it. Hey, drop that. Give me Ecclesiastes 24:23.
Ecclesiasticus.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if that's what I really want first. Yeah, we can drop it because I don't have too much time. Give me your first John 2:15. We're gonna go in locks. We're gonna go into locks in the Bible. We're gonna get all of that. Let me exit out of this. Yeah. No, that was a real good question, brother. Cause that's a lot of brothers in the world like to go with it. Well, it's just medicine. All right, did a doctor prescribe that to you? What's your medical illness? Why would you take medicine if you're not sick? You ever think about that? Fentanyl is in the actual hospital.
Right.
You go to the hospital, you got a real major injury, they'll give you fentanyl in the hospital because it's actual medicine. Now, is you out there taking now, is you out there taking fentanyl?
Right.
No, you're not. Oh, you might be. You don't even know because you're out there popping pills. Them pills ain't from the pharmaceutical company, dum. They're pressed in the street. You out there talking about Molly Percocet. You's a junkie, yo. Don't be so goddamn low. Be better.
Right.
Be better. That's all we want you to be here in the Israelite School of UPK. I want you to be a better man. I want you to be a better woman. How about that? You see how we start talking about weed? Because it's all together.
Right.
With that religion, getting high and wearing dreadlocks. Right? Give me that real quick.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Love not the world.
God requires you to not put your love into this place. He requires you not to put your love and your allegiance into this age and society that we live in. Right? We so embedded, like this is why the scriptures say this, especially Judah, yo. It's really all the tribes, but it says this. It says we are in the neck of thy enemy. We so embedded in this age and society, in the culture of America and the culture of the other nations, it's gross. It's absolutely disgusting. But we can't even see how gross we are, yo. We can't see how defiled and embedded into another culture and into another life. We can't even comprehend it. You go into like Christmas time, you go into I had to hold back last. You go into a goddamn department store, jingle bell, and you singing like, hold on, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I singing?
Right.
Because we so embedded. So embedded. In the neck of thine enemy, so embedded in the neck of thine enemy, so embedded into this age and society. The Most High wants you to take your love and your allegiance out of them, out of the oppressor's work, out of these other nations' age and society, their customs, their religions, their ways of life. You understand? And dreadlocks is part of that. Like we think like it's a cool thing to get dreadlocks, yo. It ain't cool, yo. It ain't cool. I know it seems harsh. I know you want to get them dread. You want to get it retwisted, and you want to put jewelry and all these. That's listen. We done made it to an acceptable standard in today's culture. But really, it's filthy and disgusting. That's why you got to get it. You got to go into a professional to get it so-called retwisted and clean. It's a bunch of matted dirt and mud in there, man. Yeah, something. Please.
A sister told me a couple of weeks ago that when that hair starts turning brown, just like hers, that's dead hair.
Yeah, you got a bunch of dirt and dead hair. Dirt and dead hair, that's all it is.
They got to keep taking it apart, taking out the dead hair.
Mm-hmm. And then
Bring it back up.
Yep, that's all it is, yo. You got to come up out of that madness, yo. You got to come up out of that madness. Look, I know they talking down this black culture. Listen, yo, it's East Indian culture. It ain't your culture, yo. You ain't know. It's fine. You can come out of the world just like everybody else. It's all good. You just learning something today. That's all. The church ain't going to tell you. The mosque ain't going to tell you. Your fake Israelite institution ain't going to tell you, which is really Christianity. But here in the UPK, we got the answers. You understand? But if you want to continue with that, listen, there's an Israelite church for you. If you want to be a goddamn homosexual, there's an Israelite church for you. If you want to have dreadlocks and get high, there's an Israelite church for you. There's a religion for you.
Right.
But here in the UPK, we're going to follow the Lord. And not man, and not the world, and not this age in society. You understand? But in here, we're going to be perfect in the Lord. You understand? Where we at? Love not the world.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
Neither the things that are in the world. What's in this world? Their customs, their ways, their traditions, their holidays, their feast, their feast days.
Right.
You understand? God requires us to take our love out of that marriage. You understand? Drop that. Give me you can go to James 4:4. You can go there. Since we on the world, then I'm gonna jump to Jeremiah.
James chapter 4, verse 4.
Go ahead.
Ye adulterers.
Ye what?
Ye adulterers.
Ye adulterers. Go ahead.
And adulteress.
And adulteress.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world
Hold on,
is...
real quick before that. Ye adulterers and adulteresses. James is talking to sinners. Brothers and sisters following another God.
Right.
Lord said what? I was a husband unto thee. We commit adultery when we follow Shiva or Shiva, a Hindu god, you know? We become an adulterer and adulteresses, following the allegiance and the customs of the East Indian. You understand? Joining another philosophy, another religion. You have something?
Like in Genesis, covering ourselves in the big leaves of another nation of people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's what we like to do as Israel.
Exactly.
We like to follow the customs and culture of other nations of people.
Right.
You understand it? And then we put ourselves in jeopardy with the Most High.
Mm-hmm. And look, the Bible is very anti being like another nation. The Lord is very anti being like another nation. You got more? It says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, following after another God, following after another religion. Go ahead.
Know ye not that the friendship
That the what?
That the friendship
Friendship. You became a friend to Hinduism and brought it into our culture. Now you're a goddamn pothead. Now you got filthy matted hair on your top of your head. We done brought that into our culture, huh? We became a friend to another religion, a friend to another world, a friend to another age and society, right?
Right.
Their customs, their ways, their traditions. This is what we've done. Go ahead.
Know ye not that the friendship of the world...
Know ye not that the friendship of the world... We didn't took on their customs, their religions, their ways of life, huh? That's what we're going to do. That's what the Lord said, huh? Know ye not that friendship, you want to be all inclusive. Well, it's all the same God. That's what a lot of the Muslims say that. Well, you know it's the same God. It's the same God, just another name. We all serving the same God. It's a goddamn lie. Well, you know it's the same God though, right? It's just another religion. No. You want to be all, no, you better be severed from these religions, yo. You want to be severed from their traditions. Know you not that friendship, that all-inclusiveness. Go ahead.
is enmity with God.
It's against the Most High. It's in opposition to the Most High. Go ahead. Whosoever,
Therefore will be a friend of the world.
you want to be a friend of that world, you want to be a friend of that age and society, go ahead.
Is the enemy of God.
Is the enemy of who?
Is the enemy of God.
Now you wonder why the Most High ain't on our side. Christian church that made us the enemy of the Most High. Hinduism that made us an enemy. They made us an enemy to the Most High. Rastafarianism has made us an enemy to the Most High. Roman Catholicism, all these religions that made us an enemy to the Most High. You know why? Because all these religions and philosophies are a friend to the world and make us a friend to this age and society. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain?
This ain't in the Bible just by mistake. Go ahead.
The spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy.
He lusted. We want to be with the cool nations on the earth. We want to be a part so bad it's gross, yo. It's absolutely gross how much we want to be a part of this age of society that we live in. It's gross. Should be absolutely severed and separate from this age of society. Any more?
Lies.
Drop that. Give me Jeremiah 10:2.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Do what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Like we mentioned earlier, right? The Bible, the Most High, is against us behaving. Our conduct can't be like their conduct. Our actions can't be like their actions, yo. We can't behave like that. We can't operate like that. We ain't supposed to learn their ways according to God. But what did we do with Hinduism? Now Hinduism is a part of our culture. We don't even know. We don't even know where that came from, right? It's been embodied in, now as a part of our culture. We don't even think about where it came from.
Right.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Right? Go ahead.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. You understand? Go ahead. Don't be worshiping the moon and the stars like the heathen. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Go ahead. I see.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
For it is nothingness. The customs of the people is nothingness. We think it's so significant to wear a goddamn what was the thing? The karate gi, what was it called? The karate gi. We think that was a symbol of power and respect. You look like a goddamn fool. You got these goddamn Negroes in the middle of the park with a gi on, doing all this.
Right.
You look like a goddamn fool. Man, I was in high school, man. We run around the track. Got these listen, we call them old heads. Like, yo, I want you to take this. Like, yo, you got these goddamn, grown folk.
Right.
He think he really cool with that stuff, bro. You look like a damn fool. I ain't saying you can't learn martial arts. Oh, y'all against martial arts, bro. You out there in the gi because you want to be seen. Look at how Chinese I am. Dragonfly. I said Martin Luther King. Martin Lawrence, right? Dragonfly, yo, my God. That's how you look. That's how you look. He ain't know a look at he ain't know a look at karate, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that scene later now. Yo. He's a dragonfly.
Dragonfly jump.
Dragonfly Johnson. It's a lot. All right, man. All right, Sean. Learn not to wear the heat. My bad. You had something on that? Read one more and be not.
That's just us though. Again, we love to take on the customs of other nations. The thing is we take on vain customs and make them appealing. That's really what destroys us. Because when we get into things, we make those things that are unappealing appealing. And that's what draws the most of us in. And that's how we get tied into other customs and culture.
Exactly. Excellent point. Now, you can go ahead and drop that. Now, later in the scripture, it talk about the Christmas tree. So, like, especially you got them Christian lights. You got dreads. You should look at dreads just like you look at that Christmas tree.
Right.
All right. Give me in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You're gonna go into the dictionary of locks. Give me the locks and go down into until it talks about the hair. All right.
Locks, in reference to the hair of the head. Locks renders several different Hebrew words. In Numbers 6 and 5, the term indicates the unshorn or disheveled locks of the Nazarites. In Judges 16, chapter 16, verse 13 and 19. The braided locks of the Nazarite, Samson. In Ezekiel 8 and 3, a forelock of the prophet's hair. In Songs of Solomon 5, chapter 5, verse 2 and 11, the luxuriant locks of the Hebrews, youth. In Song of Solomon 4 and 1, 6 and 7, Isaiah 47, verses 2, locks is better rendered veil, as in AFB.
Does it say, where does it say braid at?
Weave.
Weave.
I just went past braided locks.
Yeah, give me that.
That's of Nazarite Samson, of the Nazarite Samson.
Yeah, read that part one more time.
It says, okay, let me go back up.
That's the part I want.
Locks of the Nazarite in Judges 16, 13 and 19, the braided locks.
So what?
The braided locks.
The braided locks. Now he was a Nazarite too, so don't try to make it a difference.
Of the Nazarite saint.
His hair was braided. That's a real lock in the Bible. It's not a dread lock, it's an actual braids. Now, let me get this in the Blue Letter Bible. Now, if you go in the Blue Letter Bible, look up locks, we in Judges 16 and 13.
Come across, sir. You make sure. 16, 13 and 19. Verses 13 and 19.
Where is it at?
Judges chapter 16, verses 13 and 19.
Oh. There we go. Locks. Let me share my screen real quick. This is important. All right, there we go. Locks. I think you pronounce this makala, or makala pawak. One of the two. Now, how do I get the definition? All right.
I think that's
Makala. Makala pop. All right.
Malapa.
Oh, yeah. Oh, ma.
Malapa.
No, it's ma. It's a ma. Kha. La pa. Makala pop.
Oh, okay. Ma, la, pa,
Ma. Kha. La pa.
makala,
Makha.
la, pa.
Okay. So look, we got it in the Hebrew here. Let's get the definition. Definition of the lock is braid. Lock is what it is in Hebrew. Plait of hair. I mean, I don't know. Listen, that's Hebrew translation for it. The brother had braids, y'all. As you can see, we went in. I mean, how far do we got to go into this?
Right.
You see how, if I could, my thumb, something so elementary. We got to go into the definition of words. We got to go into the history of things. You know what I mean? All of these things, right? Because of Christian lights, because of Christianity,
Right.
and because of following another age in society. The brother had braided hair.
Right.
It says braids and plaits. That ain't a dreadlock. Everybody understand?
Right.
It's a braid. That's a Hebrew Israelite tradition, custom to braid your hair. Locks or so-called dreadlocks, the locks of the Bible. The locks of the Bible ain't dreads. The locks of the Bible are plaits, cornrows, and things of that stuff. Everybody understand? That's clear. We had to get a definition out of the blue letter. We had to get a definition out of the Zondervan. We had to go into the history of this disgusting tradition. And with that, that's my time, class. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commander General Hunter. We've been teaching this truth since 1969. That the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? And we should absolutely and utterly separate ourselves from their ways and their customs, including dreadlocks, which is not an Israelite custom. And with that, class, I'm gonna pass the class off to priest and officer of the 1,000, Thumb Chicago. All right.
Right. Just clap it up. Right. It's another thing, boy. We gotta stop following the customs and cultures of these other nations. These other nations hate us. So why do we love their customs and cultures so much? Because it's in us to do it. The Most High gives us our own customs and culture. All we gotta do is stick to what was already given to us, and we'll be running the world. We'll be running this earth. Understand? All right, let's go. Security announcements. We're the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6-month period in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. You understand? This time is taken so that brothers and sisters can get into being what the Most High has brought us here to be. We can't just come in here and be like the Christian church and just hook up and do what we do. You understand? So we have rules in here. There is a hierarchy. There is laws, statutes, and commandments that we go by. This is the reason why we're called One West, under Commanding General Yohana. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'asher. A tenth of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming holy convocation, we have that Passover. Pay your Passover fee. You understand? Everything is all inclusive. Everything that's happening at the Passover. That $200 per person fee includes everything. Everybody needs to get down with this. This is an order coming down from Commanding General Yohana that every Israelite should be in North Carolina on April the 20th. You understand? The festivities actually start on the 17th, but the Passover itself is the 20th. So we expect every brother and sister to be out there in participation. Hey, this is going to be a time to never forget. You understand? Remember the days of old. Remember, this is the day that you're going to want to remember. And who knows? This could be that last Passover. You understand? I don't know. It could be. But anyway, remind Akim Aquafium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, then he should start wearing all black, which include black boots, pants, shirts, headbands, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Yad Matah, class dismissed.